It takes just 3 seconds. Alibaba can help you find thousands of suppliers for the same product. And then you will face the biggest problem. Who is the best supplier among these thousands? I'm Jing, the founder of Jing Sourcing, a leading China sourcing company since 2015. We help thousands of people source quality products from China. I will share you all my knowledge about sourcing, manufacturing, importing, all in my videos. So subscribe now and you won't miss the next coming video. In my last video, how to buy on Alibaba, I have explained there are 2 ways to find suppliers: direct search or use RFQ. If you haven't watched that video, please watch it first, because I have introduced a lot of knowledge about Alibaba sourcing and importing. For the direct search, you just type in the product keywords in the search bar, then Alibaba will give you all resulted products from tens of thousands of suppliers. And then you choose a supplier who looks might be good and send in inquiries. So in this case, you need to learn how to identify suppliers before sending them inquiries. Well, RFQ is much easier, especially for beginners. You just need to fill out the form of your purchasing requirements, and you will get around 10 suppliers reply with their quotation in less than 30 minutes. And then you just need to choose the best one from the 10. So in this case, what you need to do is just identify suppliers after receiving RFQ quotes. Well, no matter you use direct search or RFQ to find suppliers, you always need to evaluate suppliers according to my following 5 steps. The first step is to check suppliers' membership and some basic information. And let me just show you an example. I'm going to search wine tumbler. I really like this example because this product is very popular and has tons of suppliers. And most of the suppliers, they are trading company and wholesalers. And only very small number of them, they are the real manufacturer. Then you can see there are countless suppliers. And now you need to follow my 4 checkpoints to evaluate them by their supplier information. And don't judge supplier just by the price, because all the low price you see, they are fake. And everyone try to mark an incredible low price to attract your attention. After getting your inquiry, they will quote you the correct price. Checkpoint 1, suppliers membership. Alibaba has 2 kinds of supplier membership, the gold or the verified. I have explained how the membership works in my last video. In short, a verified supplier is usually better organized, richer, paying higher member fee. They are more likely to sell you a higher price. So the membership is not so important because the verified supplier is not always better than the gold supplier. Checkpoint 2. So the most important data you should check is how many years the supplier has been on Alibaba. And I suggest you to always choose those over than 3 years, because there are a lot of small companies, small factories. They will try selling on Alibaba for 1 or 2 years, and they realize they didn't make a lot of money after paying few thousand US$ per year. So they will decide to close their account. They are less likely to run it as a long-term business, and you will be out of Alibaba's protection. Checkpoint 3, response rate. Response rate means how efficiently the supplier can reply your inquiry. In order to maintain a high response rate, a lot of suppliers, they use tools or automatic reply to maintain the rate higher than 90%. The response rate is not so important to evaluate suppliers. As long as it's over than 70%, it's acceptable, because suppliers, they will receive tons of junk messages, especially those promoting advertising messages from free forwarders. So if these messages haven't processed in time, the response rate will also drop. So here's a tip to help you identify if the supplier is a real manufacturer. You can go to supplier's profile page, and if the response rate is less than 60% and response time is between 24 to 72 hours, and the company is established at least 10 years ago, it's probably a real manufacturer. Because most factories are not good at operating platform or serving clients like trading companies. And they also don't know how to play tricks to maintain a high response rate. Checkpoint 4, trade assurance. If supplier have this shell icon, it means they can accept transactions through trade assurance. And you can also go to supplier's page and find the icon at their head bar. The trade assurance limit doesn't matter as long as it can cover your order's value. There will be some tutorial on the internet that teaches you if the higher trade assurance limit the supplier have, the bigger company they will be and the more reliable they are. It's not correct, because there are a lot of tricks to play to increase the trade assurance limit. You can see some companies has very high limit, such like $500,000 or over than $1 million US, and those are trading company or wholesalers instead of manufacturer, because manufacturers are always very humble, don't know how to promote themselves, don't know how to rank high, and Alibaba is just one of their resources to get customers. After you checking all this information, if you like this supplier, you can click the red heart icon to add to your like list. Step 2. Check supplier's business background. In Alibaba, there are 3 types of suppliers: manufacturer, trading company, and wholesaler. Trading company and wholesaler are usually buying product from the manufacturer and resell to you. The difference is trading company is usually specialized in certain product categories, while wholesaler are usually sell whatever is popular. Their MOQ is less, but their price will be more expensive. I don't recommend everyone buy directly from the manufacturer because everyone has different requirements on how to balance the price, service, and the quality. But it will be still very helpful if you can identify who is the manufacturer, who is the trading company, and learn how to evaluate supplier's business background. So it's simple, just follow my 4 checkpoints. Checkpoint 1. The simplest way to identify supplier's business type is check their profile page. You will see it's written trading company, manufacturer, or both trading company and a manufacturer. Over 80% possibility this information is correct, but there are still a lot of tricks to play to let a trading company registered as a manufacturer in Alibaba. And that's why you need to learn my following checkpoints. Checkpoint 2. Identify supplier's background by their company name is the most direct and fast way. Firstly, you need to know that Chinese company name consists of 4 elements: location, name, business scope, and company type. In short, for the business scope element, trading company usually will use words like trading, import, export, commodity, while manufacturers will usually use words like industry, product, certain product names such like stainless, plastic, bottles. For the location element, it's always better to choose suppliers who are located in the industrial clusters. For example, the wine tumbler, most manufacturers they are located in Yongkang or Wuyi, these 2 cities, and they are next to each other and also next to our city, Yiwu. All these 3 cities belong to Zhejiang province, so a lot of bigger scaled companies will use our province name for the location element. So in this situation, you need to ask a supplier for their real address. Then you can identify if they are located in the industrial cluster. Once you are familiar with the industrial cluster in China for all kinds of products, you can identify supplier's type in just 3 seconds just by looking their names. I'm planning to make a most comprehensive blog post to collect the industrial cluster information for all type of products in China. Once it's finished, I will put the link below in the description area. It's a huge work and it will take a while to finish. So you can follow JingSourcing's Facebook page and I will post it there. Or you can also go to jingsourcing.com to subscribe to my blog and you will also get notice once it's uploaded. Checkpoint 3. Year of establishment. You can go to supplier's profile page to see when the company is established. For most products, the factory usually are built like 5 or 10 years ago or even earlier because the investment for building a factory is huge, so they usually cannot generate any profit like 2 or 3 years after building the manufacturer. For recent years in China, the numbers of small manufacturers is decreasing and very less people will think about to invest a manufacturer and get a customer from Alibaba, and they more prefer to become a trading company because the investment is much less. You can also identify suppliers by the numbers of their employees. For most manufacturers, their employees will over than 50, and for trading companies, most of them they have less than 30 employees. Checkpoint 4. product categories. A good supplier, they should be very professional on the products, and usually their product category will not be too wide. And that's why you need to check supplier's product category. Let me show you a very typical example. I found 3 types of suppliers for the wine tumbler in Alibaba: the manufacturer, trading company, and wholesaler. If it's a real manufacturer, it's normal that all the products is the same type, or they are made from the same type of material. For stainless wine tumbler manufacturers, it's normal that they also make other kind of stainless made steel products. But if you find they also selling glass made tumblers, then either they are not the manufacturer or they get the product from the glass manufacturers. Because for glass or metal made products, the production line, the machine, and the equipment is totally different. Well, for a trading company that's selling wine tumblers, you can find all his product has relationship with drinking. And you can see they are selling all kinds like bottles and coffee makers. But for a wholesaler, usually they will have very wide range of product categories, and there will be no relationship with this category. Checkpoint 5. Certifications. There are 2 types of certifications you can check: factory certification and product compliance certifications. When you are doing the supplier searching on Alibaba, you can easily find these 2 types of certifications and use them as a condition for filtering suppliers. Factory certifications refer to certifications like ISO 9000, factory audited by third party, social liability. And for most big retailers like Walmart, they only consider to work with factories who have this kind of certifications, and they will also have their own standard for factory audit. So for small business, this kind of certification is not that necessary because usually this kind of manufacturer have very high MOQ and high price. Well, for product certifications, it's so important for all importers, no matter your business is small or big, because for products like electronic or toys, most countries, they will have requirement for the compliance certifications for the import custom clearance. So you have to confirm with supplier if they have the compliance certification to your country, if their product comply with the regulation of your country. In step 1, we check supplier's Alibaba membership and information. In step 2, we check supplier's business background. And now you probably have a couple supplier looks like reliable, and now you need to move to the step 3. Evaluate sales reps' proficiency and communication. I really don't want to reveal Chinese suppliers so many secrets because it will get more people hate me. But I really think this information is very valuable, and I want to help you reduce the risk when import product from China. You should know that the sales rep's communication and proficiency is very important because he is the bridge that connects between you and the manufacturer or the manufacturing department. For Chinese suppliers, especially the manufacturers, they usually like hire new graduate students who don't have any working experience at all, but they are willing to accept lower salary and willing to work in the manufacturer, which is always very far away from city. They don't have much knowledge or expertise on their product, and they cannot help you a lot, especially when you want to customize products. The number 1 key point for good communication is that the sales rep can understand your requirement. Let me show you a case study example. This is the inquiry I sent to wine tumbler suppliers, and I have described very well for my requirement and also the feedback I want to get. I have mentioned the colors I want, my estimated purchasing quantity, and how I want to customize the packagings. And also, I need a quote for shipping my products to the United States. I need product price, condition for customizing packagings, and shipping quote. And this sales rep didn't reply any of my questions, and it just copy and paste me a bunch of irrelevant words. He must send the same content to every customer. And let me show you an example of a good communication sales rep. How does he reply me? He not only quote me the price, but also recommend how they can help me make the product packaging, and also suggest me to get a sample to see the quality. Except for understanding your requirements, a good sales rep can also have very high efficiency in communication. They will usually reply you when they are even off work or even in holiday or weekends. There's time zone difference between China and most of other countries. So if your supplier, the sales rep, can only reply you during the working hours in China, then the communication will become very, very slow. So I recommend you to download the WeChat app and use it as a fast communication app for talking with your suppliers. And this app is what we Chinese use mostly Every Chinese will use this app for chatting, and we will use it literally from wake up in the morning until going to sleep at night. Step 4. Compare supplies lead times and write on-time delivery contract. The lead time means after you place order, how long it will take to get your product made and ready to ship. Lead time is also a very important fact to choose the right supplier, especially when you have a very tight time schedule for purchasing and selling. For example, you want to catch a big selling day like Black Friday, Christmas, and New Year. For most products, it won't take much time for manufacturing, and usually around 20 days will be enough if you are not buying very large quantity like hundreds of thousand US dollars value product. But manufacturers usually have their production schedule, and they will arrange when to start making your product according to this schedule. That means you need to wait even longer time, and sometimes it will take like 45 to 60 days to get your product made, especially in the later half of the year, because that's the high season for manufacturing. So when you are choosing suppliers, you need to confirm each supplier's lead time, and you can also place orders through the trade assurance and let them guarantee for the on-time delivery. If there's delay, you can open a dispute to get compensation. Step 5. Confirm price and order sample. So the price is not always the first thing you need to consider when you want to find a long-term relationship supplier in Alibaba. And for the lowest price suppliers, there will be all kinds of reasons to make their product like 10% or 20% or even more cheaper than most of others. Maybe the product quality is worse or have higher defect rate, or they are not selling you the brand new made product after you place order. They'll probably sell you the overstock product for cleaning their inventory. And for brand new made product, they will have a new price. So you have to get samples from 2 or 3 suppliers to confirm the quality. Even though the sample from each supplier will cost you like $30 and it will take like 3 to 4 days delivered to you by courier service, but it's very worthy. After receiving the sample and check quality, you can remove the bad sample suppliers from your list. And for the good sample suppliers, if the price is acceptable, then you need to confirm if the massive production quality is the same as the sample. And confirm the product size, weight, material thickness, it should be same as the sample. And you can write all these details when you are placing the trade assurance order. Very appreciated for watching. I hope all this strategy can help you a lot to find the best match supplier in Alibaba for your business. And remember, reliable and long-term relationship supplier are always the fundamental factor for successful business. Leave your comment below if you have any questions, or tell me what other topics you want me to talk about. If you need me to help you find suppliers in China and import to your countries, please go to jingsourcing.com and let us know there. And don't forget to give me thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in next video.